Butcher and Homelander are both monsters. That is the truth fans don't like saying out loud. Both are violent, both are obsessive, both damage the people around them, both let pain turn into cruelty. But somehow fans cheer for Butcher, and they wait for Homelander to fall. That is the disturbing part, because the difference is not violence, it is not trauma, it is not even morality. The real difference is humanity. Butcher looks like a villain, Homelander looks like a hero. Butcher hides his pain under anger, Homelander hides his cruelty under a smile. One man is terrified of becoming a monster, the other already thinks he is a god, and that is why fans forgive one broken man but fear the other. At first, Butcher and Homelander look like complete opposites. Butcher is rough, angry, dirty, human. He does not pretend to be clean, he does not smile for cameras. He does not beg the world to call him good. Homelander is everything Butcher is not. He is polished, powerful, famous, loved by the public. He wears the flag. He stands like a savior. He smiles like the perfect hero, but underneath both images, the same thing exists: damage. Butcher was shaped by abuse, grief, and revenge. Homelander was shaped by isolation, experiments, and control. Both were hurt, both were broken. Both turned pain into violence, but their pain moved in different directions. Butcher's pain became revenge. Homelander's pain became hunger. Butcher wants to destroy the system that ruined him. Homelander wants the system to worship him. That is where fans start choosing sides, because pain alone does not make someone sympathetic. Everyone has pain. What matters is what a person does with it. Butcher's anger feels like a wound. Homelander's anger feels like a threat. Butcher's cruelty feels connected to loss. Homelander's cruelty feels connected to ego. That is why viewers react differently. They can understand both men. But they can only emotionally forgive one, because Butcher still feels like a damaged human being. Homelander feels like a damaged human being with unlimited power, and that is much scarier. Homelander is hated because he is terrifying in a very specific way. He is not scary only because he can kill people. That would be too easy. A powerful villain can destroy buildings. A strong villain can win fights, but Homelander can destroy a person while smiling at them. That is what makes him different. He does not only want control, he wants love, he wants applause. He wants strangers to tell him he is good, and when the world does not give him that, something inside him breaks. That is why every Homelander scene feels dangerous. You never know which version will appear: the smiling hero, the jealous leader, the angry child, the insecure god, or the monster hiding behind the face. Fans hate him because his evil feels personal. He does not hurt people like a distant villain. He hurts people like someone who feels insulted. He threatens people because they challenge his image. He controls people because he cannot control himself. He destroys others because they make him feel small. That is the real fear. Homelander has the power of a god. But emotionally, he is still desperate for approval. That combination is horrifying. He wants love, but he does not understand love. He wants respect, but he confuses respect with fear. He wants family, but he treats people like possessions. He wants to be seen as a hero, but he cannot survive being questioned. That is why fans hate him, not because he is badly written. Because he is written too well. He represents fake heroism, the kind that smiles in public and destroys in private, the kind that uses symbols to hide cruelty. The kind that says the right words while doing the worst things. Homelander is not hated because fans do not care. He is hated because fans feel the danger. Every time he enters a room, the room changes. People stop feeling safe. Characters stop speaking normally. Even silence becomes tense. That is real villain power, and Homelander has it. But the darkest part is this: his childhood explains him. It does not excuse him. Yes, he was created in a lab. Yes, he was denied normal love. Yes, Vought raised him like a product. Yes, he was treated more like a weapon than a child. But explanation is not forgiveness. Pain can explain how someone became a monster. It does not erase what the monster chooses to do. That is why Homelander stays hated, because every time you almost understand him, he makes another choice. A cruel choice, a selfish choice, a terrifying choice, and the audience remembers. Butcher is not loved because he is innocent. He is not. That is the first thing you have to accept. Butcher lies, he manipulates, he uses people, he pushes his team too far. He lets revenge poison almost every part of him. If you judge him honestly, Butcher is not a clean hero. He is dangerous, he is toxic, he is broken. But fans still love him because his darkness feels honest. Butcher never sells himself as pure. He never pretends to be a saint. He knows he is damaged. He knows he is cruel. He knows he has crossed lines. That honesty matters. Homelander wants people to worship his fake goodness. Butcher does not ask anyone to call him good. He only asks them to follow him into war. That makes Butcher easier to forgive, because viewers can see the wound under the anger. They see the grief. They see the guilt. They see the love he lost. They see the man he could have been. That is the key. Butcher is loved because he still has pieces of humanity left. He tries to bury them. He acts like he does not care. He pretends everyone is disposable. He hides emotion under insults, violence, and control, but the audience still sees the cracks. They see that he cares more than he admits. They see that he hates himself more than he admits. They see that revenge is not making him stronger. It is slowly eating him alive. That makes him tragic, and tragedy creates connection, because with Butcher, you are not only watching what he does. You are watching what he is losing. Every cruel choice costs him something. Every lie pushes him further from the man he could have been. Every act of revenge makes the hole inside him deeper. That is why fans stay attached to him. They are not watching a perfect hero. They are watching a man who might still be saved. Butcher is loved because he can still feel guilt. Homelander usually turns guilt into rage. Butcher can hate himself. Homelander usually blames everyone else. Butcher knows he is becoming worse. Homelander thinks he deserves more power. That difference changes everything. Butcher is not a good man, but he still knows what goodness looks like, and fans keep watching because they want one answer. Can he still come back? The real difference between Butcher and Homelander is not violence. Both are violent. It is not obsession. Both are obsessed. It is not trauma. Both were shaped by trauma. The real difference is accountability. Butcher sometimes knows he is wrong. Homelander almost never accepts it. That is why viewers judge them differently. Butcher crosses the line. But he knows the line exists. Homelander acts like the line was made for weaker people. Butcher hates what sups do to humans. Homelander hates anything that makes him feel human. That is the deepest difference. Butcher's tragedy is that revenge is destroying him. Homelander's tragedy is that power made him empty. Butcher destroys himself while chasing justice. Homelander destroys others while chasing worship. One is broken by loss, the other is broken by entitlement, and fans can feel that difference. Butcher's worst actions often come from grief. Homelander's worst actions often come from pride. That does not make Butcher innocent, but it makes him understandable. The audience can imagine Butcher as someone who could have been different. If his life had gone differently, if he had healed, if he had chosen love over revenge, but Homelander feels different. He had chances to reach for humanity. He had moments where he could have chosen differently. He had moments where someone almost got close, but again and again he chooses control. He chooses fear. He chooses himself. That is why fans hate him, because the scariest thing about Homelander is not that he cannot change. It is that he often does not want to. Butcher knows he is losing himself. Homelander thinks the world should lose itself to him. That is why one becomes tragic, and the other becomes terrifying. Fans forgive Butcher because the show lets them feel his pain. That is one of the biggest reasons he works. When viewers understand a character's wound, they give him more space. Butcher's anger is connected to love. His rage started with loss. His hatred has a personal origin. That makes his cruelty feel like damage, not justice, not purity, damage, and damaged characters pull audiences in. People do not only watch stories for perfect heroes, they watch to understand broken people. Butcher gives viewers that. He is not clean, he is not safe, he is not morally easy. But he is emotionally readable. You understand why he is angry. You understand why he cannot let go. You understand why revenge feels like the only thing keeping him alive. That does not make him right, but it makes him human. Homelander also has pain, but his pain feels different because he turns it into domination. He does not only suffer. He makes everyone else suffer because of it. Butcher does that too sometimes, but the story still gives him moments of care, moments where the man behind the weapon appears. Moments where he almost chooses better, and that word matters, almost. Fans love characters who almost become better, even when they fail, even when they fall. Even when they make the wrong choice again, because that struggle feels real. Butcher is loved because he is fighting a war outside and inside himself. Homelander is hated because he has almost stopped fighting inside. He has accepted the monster as the truth. That is why fans can root for Butcher. They are not rooting for his violence. They are rooting for the part of him that might still be saved. Homelander cannot be forgiven the same way because he wants sympathy without responsibility. That is the problem. He wants people to understand his pain, but he does not want to answer for his actions. He wants love, but he does not know how to give it. He wants loyalty, but he uses fear to create it. He wants family, but he controls the people closest to him. That is why his emotional scenes feel disturbing. You can see the wounded child inside him. But you can also see the monster standing over everyone else. That contrast makes him fascinating, but it does not make him lovable, at least not in the same way. Fans may enjoy watching Homelander. They may think he is the best character. They may praise the performance. They may admit he carries the show, but loving him as a person is harder. Because Homelander constantly reminds you why he is unsafe. Every vulnerable moment comes with a threat behind it. Every need for love comes with punishment if love is denied. Every smile feels like it could become violence. That is why he cannot become the loved side. He makes every room feel like a trap. Butcher is dangerous too. But Butcher feels like a man standing near the edge. Homelander feels like the edge is already gone. That is the difference. Butcher might drag you into darkness. Homelander might decide you never deserved light. That is why the audience reacts so differently. Butcher is the broken man fans want to save. Homelander is the broken man fans want someone to stop. And that is the most painful contrast, because both men were shaped by pain, but only one of them still looks like he understands the damage he causes. So why do fans love Butcher but hate Homelander? Because both are monsters, but they are not the same kind. Butcher is a monster made from grief. Homelander is a monster protected by power. Butcher knows pain. Homelander demands worship. Butcher hides love under cruelty. Homelander hides cruelty under heroism. Butcher is dangerous because he lost too much. Homelander is dangerous because he thinks he deserves everything. That is why the audience chooses differently. Fans do not love Butcher because he is pure. They love him because he still feels human. They see his guilt. They see his damage. They see the small chance that something good might survive inside him. And fans do not hate Homelander because he is badly written. They hate him because he is terrifyingly believable. He is power without humility, pain without accountability, a hero image without a hero soul. That is the point. The Boys does not ask which man is violent, both are. It asks which man still has something human left. That is why Butcher gets love, not because he deserves full forgiveness, but because he still seems capable of feeling the weight of his sins. Homelander does not. He wants the world to clap while he destroys it. That is why one man becomes the hated god, and the other becomes the loved monster. But the darkest truth is this. Butcher and Homelander are not opposites. They are warnings, two broken men, two different paths. One hides behind revenge, one hides behind applause. And if Butcher keeps losing himself, he may become the thing he hates most. That is what makes this rivalry so powerful. It is not hero versus villain. It is monster versus monster. And the only reason fans love one more is because one of them still looks like he might come back.